I'm going to tell you something a little embarrassing. For years, I walked into meetings completely cold. No prep, no plan. I'd open the invite 30 seconds before the call, skim the agenda, and spend the next 45 minutes hoping nobody asked me a direct question. And I know I'm not the only one. Here's the thing. The problem isn't too many meetings. The problem is walking into meetings unprepared. And when you're unprepared, every meeting feels like a waste of time. What if you could walk into any meeting with a clear brief, smart questions ready, and a one-paragraph summary of what you need to know, and it only took 5 minutes to prepare? That's exactly what I'm going to show you today.
Think about it this way. The average professional sits in about 15 meetings a week. Some of you are sitting in 20 or more. That's roughly 15 hours just in meetings. Now, here's what's interesting. Research from Microsoft shows that 80% of professionals say they don't have enough time or energy to do their actual work. And the number one reason? Meeting overload. But the real issue isn't the number of meetings. It's what happens in the 5 minutes before each one. Most people do nothing. They join the call cold. They react instead of contribute. They sit there hoping no one asks them a direct question. And here's where it gets interesting. The people who seem like they always have smart things to say in meetings, they're not smarter than you. They just prepared. The difference between looking sharp in a meeting and looking lost is about 5 minutes of preparation. And AI makes those 5 minutes effortless.
So what does this actually look like? I use one prompt every time, before every meeting. It takes me about 2 minutes to fill in and 30 seconds for AI to respond. And what I get back is a complete meeting brief that makes me look like I spent an hour preparing. The prompt needs 4 things from you. 1, paste the meeting agenda or invite, even if it's vague. Even if it just says sync or check-in, paste whatever you have. 2, who's in the meeting. Names and roles if you have them. Even just my manager and 2 people from product works fine. 3, what you want to get out of the meeting, your goal. I need a decision on the timeline, or I want to understand their blockers, or even I just need to not look clueless. That's a valid goal. 4, your role in this meeting. Are you presenting? Are you just listening? Or are you the decision maker? This changes what AI prepares for you. 4 inputs, 1 prompt, and you walk in sharp.
Now, this is the part most people skip. They hear use AI to prepare for meetings, and they just type something like, help me prepare for my meeting. And they get back something generic and useless. The prompt matters a lot. Here's the exact one I use. You can pause and screenshot this. I have a meeting coming up. Here's the agenda. Paste agenda or invite text. The attendees are, list names and roles. My goal for this meeting is 1 sentence. My role in this meeting is presenting, listening, decision maker, supporting. Based on this, give me a 1-paragraph context brief so I understand the big picture. 3 smart questions I should be ready to ask. 2 things I should prepare or bring, and any potential landmines or tensions I should be aware of. That's it. Fill in the 4 brackets, hit enter. In 30 seconds, you'll have a meeting brief that would take most people 20 minutes to put together, if they bother to do it at all. Let me show you what this looks like in action. I'll use a real example. Let's say you've been invited to a Q3 planning review with your director, a product manager, and 2 engineers. The agenda says review progress, discuss blockers, align on priorities. Your goal is to get approval for pushing a deadline. You're presenting the status update. Watch what happens.
Look at what just came back. A full context brief so you understand the room dynamics. 3 sharp questions that make you sound like you've been thinking about this all week. A reminder to bring a timeline slide and a mitigation plan. And a heads up that James might push back on product timelines. And Sarah might ask why this wasn't escalated sooner. That's not generic advice. That's a meeting brief built for this specific conversation.
Now, what about recurring meetings? Because that's where most people really struggle. The weekly stand-up, the bi-weekly one-on-one, the monthly team review.
They happen so often that you stop preparing entirely. You just show up and wing it. And here's where it gets interesting. For recurring meetings, you don't need to start from scratch each time. You just add one line to the prompt. This is a recurring weekly meeting. Here are my notes from last week. Paste last week's action items or takeaways. Update the brief based on what's changed. Now, AI gives you a brief that builds on your last conversation. It reminds you what you committed to. It flags anything that's overdue, and it gives you fresh questions based on progress since last time. One thing I always do after getting my brief, I spend 60 seconds reading it out loud to myself. Not the whole thing, just the questions. If they sound like something I'd actually say in the meeting, I keep them. If they sound robotic, I ask AI to make them more conversational. That one extra minute makes the difference between sounding prepared and sounding like you're reading from a script.
Let me put the whole thing together for you. Step 1, 1 minute. Open the meeting invite, copy the agenda, the attendee list, and your calendar notes. Paste them into the prompt. Step 2, 30 seconds. Add your goal and your role, 1 sentence each. Step 3, 30 seconds. Hit enter, wait for the brief. Step 4, 2 minutes. Read the brief, star the 2 best questions. Note one thing you need to bring or prepare. Step 5, 1 minute. Walk into the meeting. 5 minutes. That's it. And honestly, the meetings where I prepare this way, I contribute more in the first 10 minutes than I used to contribute in the entire hour. It's not about impressing anyone. It's about showing up like someone who takes the work seriously. And that compounds. Your manager notices, your peers notice. Over time, you become the person everyone expects to have something smart to say. And it started with 5 minutes.
I want to leave you with something. Most professionals spend 15 hours a week in meetings, and most of them never prepare. Not because they're lazy, because it feels like there's no time. But 5 minutes is always available. Before the call, between calls, while your coffee is brewing. The people who get promoted, the ones who get picked for the important projects, they're not the loudest in the room. They're the most prepared. And honestly, this one thing changed how I work. And I believe it will work for you too.
The prompt I showed you today is part of a free collection I've put together. 10 AI prompts built specifically for professionals. Everything from performance reviews to meeting prep to drafting difficult emails. The link is in the description. Completely free. If this was helpful, hit like and subscribe. I put out one video every week. Practical. No hype. Just things that actually work in a real corporate environment. And before you go, drop a comment and tell me, what's the meeting you dread the most every week? The one you wish you could walk into feeling prepared. I read every comment and it helps me decide what to cover next. Stay sharp, stay ahead. See you soon.